Hello everyone, this is Persephone. Welcome to the third video of the 30 Fetish video series. Today our topic is going to be orgasm denial. But before we go to our topic, I want to make a comment because I've been on the internet for a little over 1 year, especially with my previous channel that I spent more time working on. And even up to this day, I receive extreme comments and I learn things about people every day. I was on Facebook the other day and I was talking to one of my fans who was very sad because a white girl had rejected him. And I asked him, have you watched my video on how to get a girlfriend? Because I say things there that you're not going to find in other videos, and I say things that you should not do, on top of things that you should do. And he watched it and he told me that he didn't know that he should work out and that women like strong men. I'm really shocked to hear that. So guys, for everyone who is watching, looks matter for women as much as looks matter for men. And not just that, we like strong men. We like men that they can kick ass and they can save us if need be. This is a primal instinct and women are attracted to that. So if you are looking for a sign to join that gym today or lift those weights or whatever sport you are into, just go for it. Because if you have never worked in your life and if you are sitting on the couch and you're looking to girls who are 8 out of 10, they will never look back at you. Because whether we like it or not, we still live in a society where men are supposed to do the first step and those girls are going to be like flirted and invited for dates by chads and by handsome guys and guys who work out. I'm not saying you should try to be like the plastic K-pop stars and go to the extremes, but everything in moderation, okay? Okay, so now back to our topic. What is orgasm denial? Originally, I was intending to speak about orgasm control, but then I changed that because orgasm control is something that most people do who are not into BDSM. For example, a guy who wants to keep his erection a little while longer and delay orgasm, that is orgasm control. Orgasm denial is a little bit different. It is pretty much the situation where a slave or a sub or whatever you like to call it, because people like to go by different terms and names, pretty much surrenders all of his sexual activity and release to a mistress or a dominant who is controlling everything from when he's going to masturbate to when he's going to have an erection to if he's going to come at all or not. Before we go to the actual practical parts, a little bit about Freud's psychosexual stages. I'm not going to be tired of repeating that. The more you understand those stages, the more and better dominant and sub you're going to be. On the second of those stages, the anal stage, the child, which is usually around 2 years old, starts to have the first boundary imposed on them, which is pretty much potty training. I know it sounds crazy that we're going to talk about potty training, but stay with me and you're going to see what I mean. During that stage, the child gets great pleasure by pooping and starts to withhold going to the toilet, and the mother tries to make the child stop using diapers and started using the toilet like an adult. And this is pretty much the first boundary ever, a first attempt to make the child a part of society that ever has so far. Like as an infant, there are no boundaries like we talked before. So the child reacts to it. And the way the mother treats the child during that stage has a lot to do with the kind of relationship the child has as an adult with authority. For example, if the mother punishes heavily the child, same shit, says, oh my god, you stink, you're never going to learn, and stuff like that. So people who went through the second stage and have lots and lots of traumas usually end up either sadists or masochists. Again, this stems from unmet needs. Doesn't mean you are a bad person if something happened during that stage, but it's something that is good to know where it came from, okay? Also, men, especially, who have high positions of power in their lives, positions that they require constant control, for example, a doctor or a surgeon or someone who is bossing people around all day, they like to have an area where they completely relinquish control and someone else takes over. I realized by talking that maybe we should make a totally separate video about master and slave, but for now just keep this information. So in our case, when it comes to orgasm denial, it can start from a mistress telling her slave when he can masturbate or not and when he can have an orgasm or not. And usually it starts from a few days and it escalates to more and more days. And he has to obey her, otherwise he gets punished. Usually allowing a man to orgasm is something that is being granted as a privilege when he does something to please the goddess, the empress, again, how she wants to be called. It could be anything from tributing, like sending money to her, to actually doing what she wants him to do if he's a work slave. Work slaves are types of people that do stuff you want them to do, and pretty much you reward them for it or you punish it. For example, if you are a college student, it could be someone who does all of your college assignments for you and doesn't get paid. His payment is that he gets to masturbate and come. The fetish has another level. It depends again on how hardcore you want things to be, and that is chastity devices. Chastity devices are devices that pretty much lock someone's penis inside and have a key. And before you start, okay, how can someone pee when he wears that? It's designed in a way that it allows you to pee and it allows you to clean yourself, but it doesn't allow you to even have an erection. There are devices that make even a simple erection very uncomfortable. So once the slave gets locked into that, the key goes to the mistress, and there are mistresses in the scene that have dozens of keys. And pretty much the slave can't do anything. He can't even get hard without her permission. And there are men who find this highly erotic, or they find highly erotic to come in command, which can happen if they are locked for months, maybe years. There are people who are locked permanently, believe it or not. Again, when it comes to safety, usually you get what you pay for, and things that they are of lower quality, they are meant to be worn for shorter amount of times. So I usually wouldn't tell someone to start from something very expensive if they want to experiment with that. Buy something that is affordable and see if that's your thing. And to go to the practical part, for those who want to actually make a lot of money from the BDSM scene, you are going, as a new mistress or a new goddess, you are going to be approached by men who wish to be locked in chastity. And pretty much that's one of the things that is relatively easy to do. You are going to control them, and they're going to send you their keys, and you're going to keep them. It's totally up to the individual person or slave. Usually those men tend to be whiny. They're trying to beg you to please, like, let me do that, let me masturbate, I'm going to lose it. No one died from lack of masturbation, okay? You're going to hold your ground and be tough with them because that's what they want. And usually a good sign to tell which people are going to ask for that is their Twitter or their social media usually show a very small penis locked in a chastity device, so even if you're new to this scene, you're going to know what to expect. For me, that's one of the easiest things to do when you are in the BDSM scene and you're starting, and it doesn't require you to do much, if anything at all. So that's it for today. Our next video is probably going to be cuckold fetish, because I've been getting flooded with requests about that. So stay tuned. If you like what we're doing here, I want to ask you to please subscribe and share, because YouTube has really tried to destroy the smaller channels with the whole new monetization rule. In order for me to be monetized, I need 4,000 watching hours and 1,000 subscribers, and we already have 700 hours, so if we get the subscriber thing going faster as well, that would be great. Also, if you have questions, if you have anything that you would like to say, the comment section is always open. Again, I'm not banning anyone. Just don't fight with each other and don't get crazy, okay? That's all for today, and thank you very much for watching.